Okay, so now we're going to start doing geometry. So the first standard in our geometry unit is going to be the area. So we're going to start with area of triangles. So the area formula of a triangle, which is also listed up here at the top of this sheet, is area equals 1/2 times your base times the height. So you can also write this as 1/2 times b times h, and just do the first letter of each of the base and height. So the first thing we're going to do is look at this example in this box, and we're going to look at step by step about how to do this. So I'm going to explain it as you can look at those steps. So step number 1 tells us to write the formula. So it will be my recommendation to always write the formula. That way it's a way to help you memorize the formula, but also you don't forget what you're doing. So step 2 says to rewrite the formula. This time you're going to substitute the base and the height for the measurement. So we're going to look at this triangle right here. So the height is going to be the dotted line. Let me erase that because you can't see that number now. The height is always going to be the dotted line going up the triangle. So that is the height of the triangle, from the smallest height to all the way to the largest height there is. So, and then this right here is going to be your base, this 7. So this first example, we're going to do 1/2 times 7 times 3. Okay, so that's step 2. We've written out the formula and included the measurements, the numbers in our formula. So step 3 is to simplify by multiplying. So just like our equations that we just learned before our break, this is what we're going to move into now. So the first part that I would do would be to multiply 3 times 7. So your area is going to equal 1/2 times 3 times 7. Well, 3 times 7 is 21. When I say to multiply 1/2 times 21, that is also the same thing as doing 21 divided by 2. So I'll write that, 21 divided by 2. So our area is going to equal 10.5. Well, you need to make sure that you're writing your measurements in this. So for this first example, we're using centimeters. So it's not just 10.5. You need to make sure that it's 10.5 centimeters squared. So we're doing area of a 2D shape. It's going to be a squared. So that is that first example. Okay, now we're going to go into the bottom part of that page that we were just on. So these are the first 3 examples, and I'm going to go over these 3 examples with you before you do the back part of this sheet, so that way y'all can hear me explain it. So we're going to start with number 1. I'm going to write directly on the picture, and then for number 2 and number 3, I'll write on the white part. So for number 1, it's still kind of giving you a step-by-step. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to write the formula. So the formula is 1/2, and we're going to do our base times height. So now we've got to substitute for the base and the height. So the base is our 6, and the height is the dotted line, and that's 17. So we're going to do 6 times 17. Even though it has feet there, you don't have to add the feet until the very end of your answer. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply 6 times 17. So 6 times 17 equals 102. So now we're going to simplify the rest of our answer. So we're going to finish the rest of our equation. So like I said earlier, 1/2 times 102 is saying the same thing as 102 divided by 2. So 102 divided by 2 equals 51 feet squared. So that is the answer for number 1. If you would like to pause this video, then you can, and you can try to work on problems 2 and 3, and then unpause it and watch me solve them. That might be a very good thing to do to see if you can do it on your own. If not, you can watch me do number 2 and then pause it and try number 3 on your own. Totally up to you. So let's look at number 2. So the first step is always to write our area formula. So the area formula of the triangle is 1/2 times base times height. And remember, I can do 1/2 times b times h. So in number 2, our base is 4 meters and our height is 6.5. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 4 times 6.5. So now you know that you're going to multiply these two numbers first. So 4 times 6.5, and you're going to get the answer of 26. So now we're going to do 1/2 times 26. That is also saying the same thing as 26 divided by 2. Well, 26 divided by 2, or 1/2 times 26, is 13. So our answer for number 2 is going to be 13. It's going to be 13 meters squared. You cannot forget to put the 13 meters squared, or whatever measurement your triangle has. You have to make sure that you put the squared part in the measurement. So now we are going to go over number 3. Like I said earlier, you can pause this video and try to work out number 3, and then find my answer and see if you got it correct. So the first step, like always, we're going to do A equals 1/2 base times height. And remember that if I have a number right beside a variable, that means to multiply. So for number 3, my base is 11 and my height is 9. So 1/2 times 11 times 9 is what we're working with. So the next step is to go ahead and multiply 9 times 11. 9 times 11 is 99. And then you're going to multiply 1/2 times 99, or like I've said earlier, 99 divided by 2. And so our area for triangle number 3 is going to be 49.5, or 49 5/10 inches squared. Do not forget to put that inches squared. So now I've gone over those 4 examples. You are going to try to do the back part of this worksheet, and you'll see it in the 5-day plan. And then remember, go back and look at this video if you have questions, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out to any of the math teachers, any of your teachers, because we are here to help y'all. So hopefully this example has helped y'all and to understand the beginning of finding the area of triangles. And this week we're going to continue practicing more of that.